Okay, so today what we're going to do is start to try to work with fixing some of that. I get pretty clean about, right here. So that hole starts to get pretty good metal again, but obviously this part here is pretty rough, and I need to get that so that I can reattach this stuff. So I got some of that same metal that I did the repair work on here, was just sitting around, and actually I was like, oh, that's a pretty good piece. And so what we're going to do, maybe I got that upside down. Let's try it this way. No, I think I have it right that way. Anyway, I probably can bend on this a little bit more, but literally just had a piece, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, cleaned the edges up, and that's going to be the plan. It's going to be able to get that in there, but I don't want to like just put it on like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shape this edge, and I'm going to put, I've got a new crimper thing for doing lap joints over there, but if you look, it's kind of like a lap joint here, sort of, right? And so I'm going to kind of recreate the same thing. Hopefully I'm just going to come right back along in here and be able to do the kind of a cut and butt deal in here after I put this in place, and we'll cut that out. But I'll have this joint from about here down will be have a recess in it. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay, it's kind of crazy to straighten my piece of metal back out pretty straight, but see that lip there now. Kind of see it right there. You can sort of see it. I don't know if it's quite as deep as this, but it's definitely a lot closer. So I'm going to rebend this, and I'll kind of show you how it looks when I get it mocked up. Okay, so we got this piece, and it actually is not even connected right there, right here in the edge, but it does come around and it creates a flange there. So I've rebent this piece, and we can kind of see mine. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing. I'm going to cut this piece out so that it can go over, and then I'll bend this up here at that corner, right up here. I'll bend it out towards me, and then it should be pretty good. It'll slide this thing back a little bit to probably right there is about where it'll end down. But yeah, I'll bring it back and show you. All right, so we got this piece now kind of rounded, not special, but I've cut that out, so I got this little tab into it now. So I can put that in here, and yeah, see where it ended up over here. It's about where I thought it would. But we'll come out here, and I gotta go ahead and cut this part out on the old wheel well, and that'll let it slide tight then. That'll be the next piece, and then we should be able to kind of prep this metal, and we'll tack weld it on the top, but then we'll kind of do a cut and butt across there as we tack it in place. And it should be pretty freaking great after that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and drop some holes in the bottom side for the, anticipation. Not going to be quite that big, but for anticipation for the welding later to the floor pan. I think it'll be good. Okay, I think this is the final mock-up. So I got some clean metal there. You see the area that I'm trying to take out. This piece is, I cut this part out right here so that this can go up in there clean now. Oh man, come on. Yeah, so something kind of like that. I gotta probably bend that in just a little bit more, but the clamp will hold it. But yeah, so we're gonna tack on the top side there. I did put 2 holes on either end for eventual spot welds, but I didn't do it all the way across because I don't know exactly where I need them, so I'll just wait until I get the panel in place, and we'll drill it from the inside of the wheel well. But yeah, so we're gonna put this and tack this in place, and then come across where my thumb is at the top and just cut it out, and then we should be able to pull the bad metal out from the back side when we do the old cut and butt. So we'll see. Okay, so here we go. Definitely got it bubble gummed up a little bit here, but it's good and good penetration. He said penetration. All right, and you can see it up in there, so it welds through nicely. That was a little wider opening, so I got a little copper plate behind that. and I'm going to trim it to the right height. It looks like I did a really good job with a piece of metal. However, this was the original piece. There's really nothing wrong with this one. The problem with it was I did a classic mistake in that by the time I got this fitted up in there, it got too short. And so I just cut it on a new piece and did the same thing I did to this, but made it a little oversized this time. And so now I can come and trim the bottom. But I'm gonna come in there right now and clean up the weld. Then we'll trim the bottom and I'll show you what I got. Okay, cleaned up a little bit. It's pretty good, you know. Definitely solid. I mean, I grabbed my piece of metal, you see the whole wheel well flexing, so we're good. It wasn't attached here, and so I guess I'm not going to attach it there right now. But I don't know, maybe I will at some point, drop a tack in there. One thing I gotta do is trim the length on it a little bit because, well, I gotta clean the inside. I got some kind of a nasty little tacks inside here that need to be cleaned up. But you see the height difference. So I'm gonna go around there and cut off that height difference and clean that up a little bit. But real good penetration, and the joint where they came together right here where I'm pointing the flashlight, that was wide after I cut it and got it in place. So I got it filled back in and put a piece of copper behind it and was able to fill it in. So it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's a good little repair. I mean, my little section looks a lot better than this solid section because these are kind of big holes, but we'll deal with those. Now I got to go and do it again up over here. I've done it once, I guess I want to do it twice because I got to do the same thing up in here because this is pretty crappy. But the good thing is this side is significantly better. There's nothing going on here. I got to finish cleaning up that metal right there in the corner, but it's good all the way around. So that's just finish cleaning that side up and we'll be good. This was the bad side around on both ends, of course, in the bends, which I'm happy for that because I wouldn't have wanted to try to weld up in there. It's not terrible from the inside, but it kind of sucks too. And so whatever, either end of this wheel well, and I don't know, that's a hell of a lot better than replacing this inner wheel well, So I'm super pumped with that repair. Helios has done that again. This is what he does. Let me shine the light on him. He's a star. Okay, so we're down to the last of this little repair now. So I kind of show you the inner wheel well. There we go. So there's a couple little holes right up in there in the corner, right by that big hole. That was an original plug well that I drilled out. It's kind of big, but we'll see when the floor goes in what I need to do with those holes. I might need to close them up some, or maybe there's going to be a really big plug well. I don't know yet. But yeah, it's good, man. It's solid. And there's a couple little holes, but I could fill it. I could send another forever on it right now and make it absolutely perfect. I know I could do that, but that would just be showing off. And my goodness, somebody worked a really long time and did a lot of work to figure out the chemistry involved with seam sealer. So far be it from me to be the person who doesn't take advantage of all that hard work. So yeah, we'll throw some seam sealer on all this stuff after I get that done with the repairs and clean up in there, and anywhere where I've welded, I'll go back over seam seal, epoxy prime, undercoating, and she's better than she ever was. So done. That's all I'm gonna do on that repair.